let's just have a look what we're expecting from you for Project 6, which is the final project. It says here optional for short course students. If we this is not for the diploma students, it's for people that are doing a short course in this. So they normally don't have to do this project. But Part A and Part B for this project, we basically have to write a small paragraph outlining how the software is used in the industry, and how this might be benefiting industry. Basically, I mean, from what you saw from that video and what you read more, is that spelled compared? I'm not sure, I don't know. But who picks that up? Anyway, comparing with the traditional methods of conducting meetings. This is terrible. Who wrote this? Conducting meetings, marking up drawings and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, the whole thing about BIM and Navisworks as well, which is part of that family, is to shortcut any issues. In other words, you build the project once digitally, and really the only Navisworks is the conduit for that, because it's able to bring all the different software in one spot. Right. So you build it once digitally, have a look for problems, and then you build it one more time physically, and that's where you get efficiencies. And we'll have a look at this manual in a minute that I opened up before as well. That gives you some idea about BIM in general, anyway, or why we want to use it. And using any markup software, it says here. Now I say any because you could use BIM site or any of the others really, if you can get your hands on them, which you can, some of them. So the markup software, to just basically, that's all it means to mark up. Sometimes in the past it has been confused with I have to run a clash first and then find the problem, then mark up and say here's a problem. You don't have to have a problem to actually mark up something. You could say, well, it doesn't have to be a problem. You could say, well, that window is not the right size. It's not a problem really, it's just you don't like it, or move the door over. So you don't have to actually run I just want to emphasize that you don't have to actually run a clash detection to actually mark something up. You can just go straight into the markup capabilities, as we'll find out, and just mark something up. Now, I'm not expecting you to do this week, but even next week or the week after. So it's just outlining what that is, and so you know what's coming, because we probably won't even get to it this week. Right, so using markup software such as Navisworks Manage. Now notice Manage, because in Freedom you can't mark up. You can view markups, but you can't actually create any. So import your architectural Revit model from Project 3 into there, into the Manage or something, and use the markup capabilities, and then save the file in the native format, NWD. Okay, this is very important because I always get files in NWF. All right. So just while we want that, there are 3 file formats for Navisworks, and the native one is NWD, and NWD is the only one that Freedom can read. Freedom can only read one file format. That's NWD. We can't bring in DWGs. You can't do anything with it really. So what's an NWD? It's basically a consolidated, or it's a consolidated sort of file that's got everything in it. So basically a bound, let's just say in AutoCAD terms, when you're doing external reference, then you bind it. You can't bind it into one, so you don't have to, when you give out the file, you just give out one file. You don't have to give the external reference as well as the file that you got the reference in. So this is the same. All that happens initially when you bring something into a new Navisworks project, I suppose. You just you can bring in drawings, you can bring in Revit files, you can bring in ArchiCAD files. But when you go to save it, it goes to NWF. So what it is, basically, it saves a file that's basically blank, and all it does is just references in these files that are sitting outside it. So if you're going to give me an NWF, you've got to give me also the other files to make any sense. Otherwise, there's nothing that will come in. If I open it up just at NWF, there's nothing in it. All that will be in it, it saves certain views that you might have saved in there. They'll be in there, but there'll be nothing to view. There'll be comments, if you write any comments in there, and I'll be able to see the comments, but I won't be able to see what they relate to because there's no picture behind it, there's no building. So to make everything come back into one file, we save it as NWD, and that's what I want you to send to me, NWD. NWC is a different thing, it's a cache file. And by the way, NWF stands for Federated Model. By the way, the NWD is, I think it's a document or something. Anyway, it's different names. But essentially that's what they do. NWC is Navisworks cache file. And if you bring in something like a drawing file, DWG file, it doesn't actually bring in the DWG file. What it brings in is it converts it into like a language it understands, let's just say. And that is NWC. So it's a file that you can easily access quickly. So that's what they call a cache. It's just a copy of it, but in its own language. So it brings that in instead. So it just creates that on the fly. You don't even know it happens in the background. All right, so that's the project there. And then we have here, if we have a look to help with that, if I just click on this. All right. See if that works. This is from Autodesk, and should be a table that compares the different products. There is another family I didn't mention of Navisworks, and that's Simulate. Looks like here they've updated this. They don't actually mention Freedom anymore in here because it used to actually have, the older table used to have Freedom here as well. It had all three products, and it showed you what you can do, which was basically 2 ticks out of all these. So here it tells you, it compares these only, fortunately, and it says that this does, this one here, which is the manage, does do clash detection, whereas this one doesn't. Interference management, 5D product scheduling, yes, they all do all that. Quantification, they both do that. What else? Obviously, everything is the same except for the last bit. Just looking for the timeliner, which they should both do as well, but anyway, it's not listed there, which is one of the main things. I can't see it anyhow. We'll leave that. So that's a little comparison table. There is another one there, number 3. This is done by Tekla. Let's see if they've updated theirs. Yeah, so this one actually shows you a lot more than just the Autodesk family of products. Let's just see when Internet Explorer wakes up. Sometime soon. Here we go. Alright, so here you can see we've got the Freedom. So this one here actually gives you probably a little more information about the Autodesk family. Well, they only compare the Manage, not the Simulate, but you saw from the other one, Simulate does a couple of things less. So they compare the Freedom, the Manage, and you can see here you can measure, 3D navigate, you can save model views. Really? Okay. Online support, online training. Yeah, tells you how big it is and how long it takes to download. Then it's got the Bentley Navigator. So that's another software, and Solibri. So there's more QA, more quantities based. This one here. Does it do clash detections? That's a good question. It should do. Where are they? Collaboration, sharing, creating. Where's the clash detections? Markup, clipping, measuring. Online support. Hey? The middle, is it?
Automatic.
Oh, automatic clash detection. There you go. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, they all do that, which is good. And then this is Tekla BIM site, which is a free one that they give out, and it's supposed to do all that anyway. But you got to be careful when you're looking at this stuff because, for example, they probably left Timeliner out because this one doesn't do it anyway. So, but they have included quantification, I would say, which or not. Not sure which this one can't do anyway in theory. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't think there is quantification in here either, is there? So you've got to be careful when you're comparing it because they might leave things out to make their product look better. You know what I mean? So you've got to be careful what you're looking at. So it depends what it's a bit like paying extra for a cruise control on your car, for example, but you're never going to use it. So if you're not interested in quantification or Timeliner, then Tekla might be good enough for you. So and it costs $0, right? So as opposed to this is $6,000, $8,000 for the Navisworks. All right, so that could be part of your argument about what would you buy, for example, is part A of that project. Smaller offices might not need to have the expensive one. So downloads are quicker, all that sort of stuff counts. Where are we? So that was number 3. This one here is some lessons, and this is the glue overview. All right, so this is a lesson on the BIM curriculum. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Just click on that anywhere over here. All right, so this is something to have a bit of a look at. It's a whole lot of lessons on, basically on there is one on, hang on, what we've got to look at. Yeah, this is a particular lesson we want, 4D simulation and construction planning. This one, lesson 2. All right, so we're down here. And I don't know if this one's got a video. Let's have a quick look here under the exercises. Okay, sometimes elements. Let's have a quick look. So basically, this is worth looking at. There's basically 3 or 4 videos here, or 3 videos. So watch those. Have a read of these because that will also give you some hints about how the thing works and what you can put into your. It's not a big project. It's only a paragraph or something. So there's not much to write anyway. But it gives you a good understanding about, apart from what I've been just talking about, or what how this thing works and what it does. All right. So I'll leave that one there. All right. This one here didn't work, so we're going to have to just search it. Just search for Autodesk 360 or Autodesk Glue, like I did in YouTube, and that should come up. Like I did there. This one here we looked at, and I'll update the program soon with that. So basically it looks like that. All right. The next one is I'm in the architecture here. Go down a bit. All right. Next one is BIM Field, and that's interesting. That one is a very good one to watch, actually. Hopefully this one is still there. I'll leave it at that. Okay.